Hey guys, you're listening to the Shift Training Podcast,
where we talk about personal development, we talk about mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health, and just overall well-being.
And today we're going to talk about the dark side of the force. We're going to be talking about envy,
jealousy,
and resentment. So let's get started. First question is, what is envy?
Envy. What is envy? Well, envy is when you want something that the person has. And there are two kinds of envy, according to Brené Brown. So there's malicious envy and plain envy, which is the good part. So let's use an example of your friend. Let's say your friend got promoted as somebody who become a higher position in your job because he's always on the top of your game, and you feel envious towards that person. But that envious that you feel is something malicious. You think that they don't deserve it. That's malicious envy.
That you deserve it. It should be yours. That you should
exactly.
Take it. You should overthrow them. Seize it. Seize it. Take the power. Yeah.
And then the plain envy which is the opposite of that. So we can use the same example as your friend. Let's say he got promoted, but you're inspired from it. You're motivated and you're happy for them. So that's the plain envy, the good envy.
Yeah, I'll give some examples of plain envy. You see somebody in a nice car. First off, this is me. I like nice cars. So somebody's riding a nice car you really like. Wow, that's dope. I want to know more about how they did it, how they got there. Good for them. And I want it too. I don't want to take it from them. I don't feel like it's mine. It should be mine. Good for them. And I want me one too. Plain envy. I wish I had what they have. Malicious envy. I need to think of a way to steal their car because it really is supposed to be my car. It's mine. I should take it. They don't deserve that.
Only yours.
How do they even get that? Who let them have that? They don't deserve it.
Exactly. That McLaren is just mine.
McLarens. That's my weakness. I like them.
Okay.
So that's envy.
That's envy. So we can move on to the next question. What is jealousy?
Jealousy. We use the word jelly a lot. Brené Brown talks about this as well. We use the word jelly when we're talking about envy. Oh, I'm so jelly. Usually I'm envious. Like you don't have jealousy towards someone having something that you want. That's not jealousy like we just covered. That's envy. Jealousy usually involves three people. It's yourself and two other people. And usually jealousy is basically this: fear of loss of connection or time with somebody else. So for example, let's say you and your best friend or one of your closest homies are about to get together, and all of a sudden they invite somebody else. You're like, wait a minute, hold on, I thought it was just us. Yeah, my new friend such and such is coming with us. Yeah, you know.
Oh, just the homie, you know.
Yeah, and they're like, this homie. I'm like, no, but we're homies. Who's this new person you're bringing with us? And you can feel jealousy start to set in there, where it's like, not them. It's supposed to be just us. Well, yeah, they're cool too. There's a concern about loss of your connection or time or your relationship being lessened because of their connection with somebody else. That's jealousy. This is obvious with, parents and siblings.
Partners.
Yeah, that's the super common one. Oh, your partner's got a new friend at work. Even if it's Call of Duty time with the bros. And I don't like that you play Call of Duty with them so much. That happens. My boys get in trouble for that all the time.
That's right.
So the jealousy is real. So it's usually fear of loss of time or connection with somebody else. And that's jealousy in short.
And remember, the best way to remember is envy involves two people and three or more for jealousy.
Correct, Mundo. So how do those relate to resentment? So we'll start with envy first. How can envy lead to, or how does it relate to resentment?
Okay, so we can go back to the example of a friend getting promoted. And let's say you got envious towards that person and you never really acknowledge your emotion or whatever it is going on with you. You feel envious because what? Is it just because you want it? Right?
So yeah, if you have that, and let's say like the story that you're playing in your head was they took it from me.
Right.
When really the reality is like maybe they were the more suitable candidate.
Yeah, maybe they work harder and smarter, maybe more hours.
Yeah, so maybe they actually earned it. And, you feel like they stole it from you. So in your head, you keep playing that narrative, and all of a sudden you resent your friend, and eventually you guys aren't friends anymore.
Exactly.
You feel like that resentment fester.
And this could also be resent yourself as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the non-malicious envy can also lead to resentment as well. So for example, if you're constantly seeing things where like, yeah, I want that, and you're getting motivated and inspired briefly, but you're not really moving towards it or manifesting it at all, you'll start to get a little upset with yourself, maybe frustrated, and have a little resentment. Like, why haven't you done this yet? Why didn't we get this yet? Why haven't we, why haven't I yet? I thought I would already have it by now. I wanted that. And you'll discover two things. Usually one, you don't really want that thing. If you really take the time to think about it, you might not actually even want it. It might have just got you inspired for a moment. You might not actually really...
Or it might be just your ego as well.
Yeah, it might be your ego. You might just not really care for it at all. And then the other element is you might go, okay, some hard reflection shows I need to be doing more work. And you don't need to resent yourself for feeling like you need to do more work. You can simply do more work if you feel like it's worth it. And if you don't, then you won't. And that will help you know maybe you don't really want it. So that's how envy relates to resentment.
Yeah, and sometimes you could be in denial too. That's what causes resentment.
Yeah,
and deny things for yourself and for others.
Yeah, 100%. So let's jump into jealousy and resentment.
And I feel like this is very easy to understand, because jealousy, when you are jealous towards that person or your partner because you're not spending enough time, you're losing time or connection with that person, then you feel jealous. And if you never communicate that, then it will build up until to the part, or you're the part where you feel resentment towards that person.
Yeah, you'll feel like they're stealing from you. It's their fault that you're not getting what you want. And that resentment translates into your direct connection with the person. It harms your connection with the person. So for example, if it's 1, 2, and 3 different people, right? Let's say it's 3 people, and you want that one connection with whoever, let's say your partner, right? And the friend is gobbling up all the time. If every time you connect with your mate and you're always complaining about the other person gobbling up that time, you're causing harm to your direct connection, and you're feeding into your exact fear. That fear of loss of connection, you're actually making it happen because you're not willing to accept and be okay with what is. Not to say that your fear shouldn't be addressed. You should communicate it and talk about it. You want to acknowledge it. But that comes into where if you're blaming, blaming is where resentment will get you. It's the blaming. You want to point the finger, you want to blame, anything like that, victim stuff, victim mindset and behavior consistently, those just go straight to resentment, man.
Exactly. So the next question would be, what are some healthy ways to navigate those resentment?
Okay, so I'm no stranger to resentment. I have no problem saying that because I know my past and I know how I experienced life. You know what I mean? Now I handle things much different, and I would say that me and resentment, we're not that tight no more. Very far apart. But before, resentment and I it's backseat all the time. We rolling
the passenger seat
right next to me. We're rolling all the time. So one of the ways that I can say when I was younger, I would do physical activity. So physical activity was a way that I would release that type of energy, that anger, resentment towards stuff. I would work harder in the gym or whatever it is I'm going to do. I would work harder than the people around me. And that's my way of processing it then. I also used to dance every day.
Is that still healthy though? Like you use physical activity. Well, I guess you're working your physical health, but like, is that for the right intention?
I would say that's level 1. Intention's not really there. I'll say it's still feeding into the resentment, but I'm processing in a healthy way. The health benefit is my physical health. So dance is another way that I would do this when I used to dance. And it's expressing that energy, expressing how I feel. So I'm physically working on the expression of how I feel, releasing that, and in a way kind of acknowledging it, and then, so now we fast forward. So this is in the beginning of me starting to understand, or not even understand, really just trying to process resentment, right? So that's maybe in the beginning. What I would say now, what I better understand, what helps me to basically run into little to no resentment or to not let it simmer for too long is I address what it is I need to address. So for example, there's times where I've had conversations with people where I've said, hey, look, I really need to talk to you about something because I don't want to have any resentment towards you. So I kind of need to touch base with you on this because something's bothering me, and I appreciate you as a person, and I don't want to have any resentment. I don't want to feel that towards you or when I'm around you.
Right.
So do you have a minute so we can talk about it? So usually what I'll do is I'll try to process it with that person, and part of me doing that is my attempt to change the narrative that I've been playing in my head. And that's what it boils down to. The core of it is the narrative that you're playing in your head on repeat, that loop. You need to change that loop. And there's various ways to go about addressing how you feel and changing that so you're not just telling yourself they're doing, whatever it is that causes you resentment. You're not running that on a loop.
So when you communicate that, that's when it changes that narrative in your head.
Sometimes it does. Yeah, part of it is even just acknowledging how you feel openly about it. So for example, something that I've noticed happens more often than not is usually when I have a discussion about with a person in that fashion, they usually have no idea about how that affects me. And they don't even really mean to do it. They're just operating, right? Like most people, they're just operating. We're all just operating, trying to do the best that we can with the tools that we're given, with the values that we have. But no one's maliciously doing things that I feel like they're attacking. It's not happening that way.
That's not intent. It's just oblivious about it.
Yeah, they have no clue. And normally they'll be more mindful of it. And I'm always extremely grateful. And those cases, though, where they're not, where they might be like, okay, yeah, sure. And they want you to be quiet at the moment or act like they heard what you said. And that's how it feels, like they heard you. But then there's no follow through. And that's to be expected, too, because that does not change their value system. And the value system and the way they live drives their behavior. But you saying this is how I feel doesn't per se change that or overwhelm that or have more weight than that. So it's to be expected that you would say it and they go, yeah, sure. And they might not follow through. Now, there's two different ways to acknowledge this. There's, oh man, they didn't hear me. They basically said how you feel, you know? And that's generally not what's going on, but that's how that will be processed, and it'll lead you right back to resentment. The other thought is, it's a loop. The other thought is, I'm glad they took the time to hear me out. I see that that's not really high priority for them. They have other stuff going on in their life. That's the high priority. So I need to acknowledge that what they're doing literally has little to nothing to do with me, other than the fact that I feel that it affects me directly or see that it affects me directly. And that's me acknowledging that what they're doing affects me. So what am I going to do about something that I have an issue with? Because this person is going to live their life and this is a trigger, this issue for me. What am I going to do about it?
Yeah, I think another healthy ways is just being self-aware, having self-awareness to yourself. So let's say when someone says a word to you or triggers you, it's not you're just going to get mad at that person. Or usually when we're angry, we start to say things that we didn't mean. So sometimes it's always good to focus on our breath, take a moment, 1 or 10 seconds or 20 seconds in the beginning. Usually for most people, they just react on whatever the person is saying. So just remember that quote from Viktor Frankl. It's a very nice quote where he says, between a stimulus and a response, there's a space. And between that space is our power to choose our response. So basically what that means is, that space, that chasm, that the stimulus and the response, it's your ability to detach yourself from the trigger, the emotions that you feel from your body.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good way to stop yourself from even getting into the resentful story.
That's right.
Yeah, because once you react, the trigger loop has begun, and therefore the resentful story will play out, and you'll be stuck in the resentful story.
Dang, that narrative again and again. It's like, have you seen that Doctor Strange when he went back over and over with Dormammu?
Yep, Dormammu got frustrated. Was like, yo, look, just let me out of this. I'm out of here, man. I don't want this.
Let me be in peace.
Let me be in peace. Yes, exactly. So another thing to be mindful of, guys, is with the salt, the resentment, as we say, the bitterness. I can talk about unhealthy ways to do this too. So we talked about, what are some healthy ways to navigate that? And I would love to leave you guys on that note. But I'm also going to leave another note here on some things not to do, some unhealthy things to do. So, let's use a ex or partner relationship kind of deal, or old friend or whatever. No drunk text, no drunk calling, no being all resentful, but then scrolling on their social trying to see what they're doing. Anything that's going to cause harm or degrade your physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual well-being. Any of those things, if it's not going to help that, it's going to cost, it's going to take away from it, don't do it.
I mean, some people they're just so masochistic, you know, they just want to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, my ex already got a boyfriend. Let me stalk it, you know.
Addicted to the wrong feeling. You're addicted to the wrong chemicals that will not serve you. They're harmful to your body.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend that as soon as you start feeling that pull, go do something else. Go away from it. Run away as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Drive quickly to something else. You start picking up your phone, you think, oh, I want to, put that shit down. Put it down right away.
Yeah. Delete all of those. And it could be a trigger, you know, when you see a picture and you're like, all the memory just comes back in your brain. You're like,
And then you're caught in the loop. Yeah. And you need to have that moment, like you talked about, creating that space between stimulus and response. Well, I feel I should pause. Is that going to help me? Is it going to better my physical health? My mental health?
Exactly. Is that going to serve me?
Is it going to serve me? Answer is no. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that then. The answer is no. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're doing that, when you're concerned or feeling any type of resentment towards somebody. So I think that's it for envy, jealousy, and resentment today.
And don't forget to comment down below. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like, subscribe, follow all the things at Shift on Your Life. And we hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.